Hey guys, it's Talia here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be something that I haven't really seen out there, but I've been trying to find answers for a while. And basically what I'm going to do is I am going to break down per trimester how much a baby costs. So let's get into today's video. Okay, so I'm going to start by doing 2 trimesters in this video. I'm currently in my 2nd trimester, but I'm going to do trimester 0, so the preparation for a baby, just because I did put some costs towards that. And then also trimester 1, which is basically the first section of pregnancy and things that I spent at that time as well. I feel like there is a lot of reasoning why there's no costs involved with how much a baby costs, and that's because every single family is different. And the costs involved that I'm going to share with you today are obviously only my experience. There will be things that mothers out there will value more than what I value, so they see value in spending money in other areas and on other things as well. But I'm really interested in sharing my journey and what I've spent it on. Also, this is my first pregnancy, so there might be things that I buy in the 2nd trimester that I never even use when the baby's here. So again, it's going to be a complete learning experience for myself, but I'm really excited to share that all with you guys as well. Okay, so I am starting with trimester 0 because there were some things that we did in preparation for the baby that did cost us some money. So this is a planned pregnancy, so I did actually go to a naturopath because I really wanted to see where my health was and how my body was in terms of, from a naturopath's perspective, how healthy I was to try for a baby and if there's anything I was lacking or needed to improve on. So the first step that I did with her is I went and got a blood test. Just with my regular doctor, my blood test cost $80, and then I took that to the naturopath. I also did an initial consultation with her, which costed $159, and then basically that's why the initial consultation was just to gather more information about me and then also to inform me that I needed a blood test, and I was already sort of doing that, so we were just waiting for the results at that point. And then after I got my blood test, we then went into the 2nd appointment, and that one cost $195. I would say a naturopath is quite a luxury. I have decided not to continue seeing a naturopath at this stage. I am just trying to find my motherly knowledge from other sources like podcasts or Instagram, other mothers. I'm on an app called Peanut, and there's so many people on there that just talk about what they're experiencing, so I'm also learning a lot from there as well, just for free. I do see the value in a naturopath. I do think they know exactly what they're talking about. The things that I was prescribed from the naturopath made me feel amazing, but it is an investment and we're just not really at that stage in our wealth journey to be spending on a naturopath. But I did see the value in seeing her up front to make sure that I was healthy, and basically I was. That was, I guess, the journey with the naturopath. I would definitely highly recommend them for people who want to see them. And if you do want to know who it is, if you live in Brisbane in Australia, I can recommend them to you. Just put in the comments below or send me a message and I will let you know who they are. From the naturopath appointment, they recommended a number of vitamins just to top me up, and I spent $171.29 on vitamins. That's a lot. Again, it's probably the reason why I didn't continue with the vitamins moving forward, just because of the cost involved in upkeeping that. There are some of the vitamins that was just for prior to getting pregnant, but then there was also a lot of vitamins that they recommended while I was pregnant as well as after the baby's born. So again, an investment. And the only other thing that we spent money on was pregnancy tests. So we got 2 packets that had 3 tests in each. They were $18 each. So we spent $36 on the pregnancy tests. I did have 2 left over in the end. So I only took 4 pregnancy tests until we found a positive. So that is trimester 0. The total amount of the trimester 0 is $641.29. All right, let's move on to the first trimester. So initially, once I found out that I was pregnant, usually the first thing you do is book in with a doctor just to confirm the pregnancy and I guess get some knowledge on what are the next steps for you. So I did that. So I did my first doctor's visit. They also took a blood test at that point, but I guess it was all kind of included. So basically it cost me $65. I do have Medicare. We have access to great health system in Australia, and I did get $39.10 back. So that first doctor visit only cost me out of pocket at the end by $25.90. So that's not too bad. We then had to do the NIPT test. So this is around the 10-week mark, and this is not a Medicare rebate service. So you do have to completely pay for this out of pocket. On the Peanut app, I did see some people that said that they got a benefit back, but I think they were referring to a different test because yeah, every other person has said that the NIPT test definitely is something that's completely out of pocket for them. And also, depending on where you are living in the country, it's a different price. There are some people that spent $500, there are some people who spent $600, some people that spent less than me, around $250 or $300. The test for myself was $395 in Brisbane, Australia. So that's the cost of it there, but it does vary, I think, depending on where you live. What I was noticing is that people in Sydney were paying more than people in Brisbane. But the NIPT test is the test that sort of checks for chromosomes and abnormalities in the DNA, and they can give you those results pretty much mine came back with less than a week, so that was very fast. So the next is a Q scan appointment. So I had a 7-week Q scan appointment. So obviously that was before the NIPT test. Sorry, I got that mixed up. So that was, you have to pay for the Q scan, but you do get a benefit back from Medicare. So I paid $123.10 at the time. And then I got the benefit back of $53.10, which means I was only out of pocket by $70 in the end. I then also had a second Q scan appointment. Again, the costs were exactly the same, so $123.10. Got back $53.10 from Medicare, leaving me out of pocket by $70 again, and that was for the 12-week scan. The only other cost that we ran into for the second trimester was the reveal of being pregnant. So it was a little party that we put on at my partner's uncle's house, and we just made a platter for everyone. You would have seen the video in my previous video of us telling them. The entire cost of that, we also purchased pizza for them for dinner as well, because some people stayed a little bit later. The whole thing costs about $300, just slightly over, which is exactly what I budgeted for that, so that's great. Okay, so that first trimester, just as a total, it came in at $861.47. So that is the cost of trimester 1. It's a little bit more expensive than the trimester 0 as expected, and I do expect them to continue to get more expensive, especially when I start buying and purchasing baby items. Yeah, so in the first trimester, I hadn't purchased any baby stuff. I just really wanted to make sure that the baby was really healthy first and that everything was going okay, and that I was past like all of the time frames of when a miscarriage can happen. So, I mean, obviously it can happen at any time, but it's much more safer now in this period that I'm in. So I have purchased a couple of things in the second trimester, which I'll share with you once I've exited the second trimester and calculated all of that. But yeah, in the first trimester and trimester 0, I didn't purchase any baby items at all. It was really just the doctor's appointments and the reveal is all I really spent money on. So yeah, I hope that helps. If there's any other mothers out there that have found value in spending money on other things in the trimester 0 or the first trimester, please pop it in the comments below for other people to read. This is obviously just my experience, so this is what I personally spent money on. There are a lot of other things, I guess, that other people consider and find valuable, so definitely share your knowledge with others as well, because what I am doing is not the right thing to do for everyone. So be supportive of others, and if you have any other tips or anything for mothers out there, please pop it in the comments for them to read. That is me for this video. A nice short quick one for how much a baby costs, trimester 0 and first trimester. I'm super excited to bring you trimester 2, trimester 3, and then also post-birth trimester as well. I really want to capture in the first few months of the baby, when the baby's born, how much do they cost, and I just feel like I can see each trimester getting more expensive and more expensive. So let's see how it goes, and yeah, have a great day, and I'll see you next week in my next video. Thanks so much guys, bye.